Online Safety by Emily and Ashley. So we want to start off by defining what online safety is, especially for teachers who aren't very familiar with technology. So basically it's just knowledge of maximizing the user's personal safety and security risks to private information and property associated with using the internet, the protection from computer crime in general. So basically just as you'd be safe out on the streets, whatever you're doing, it's just same thing but online, protecting your private information. So why would it be important for us as educators to talk to our students about being careful online? Well, it's important to educate our students so they are equipped with the right precautions to protect themselves and their private information. So we thought about the four elements that were the most important to teach students. One, Wi-Fi, especially with kids and the smartphones that they have and the laptops that they'll have. We thought Wi-Fi would be a really good topic to hit on. Next one is conversations, meaning just who are they talking to online? Who do they know who they're talking behind on the screen? Another one was inappropriate websites, which literally can be, inappropriate websites, or even websites that give their computers viruses. And then last, we thought passwords would be a really important key factor to hit. So first with Wi-Fi. So, hackers are trying to steal your data. You gotta tell your students how to protect themselves. So authentication for passwords, meaning we read this article just talking about not only using your phone for Wi-Fi in a public place, but also using your laptop and not giving private information through that Wi-Fi, such as credit card numbers, social security numbers, anything. Just keep that under wraps when you're using Wi-Fi. Constant vigilance, tether your internet connection, encrypt yourself, and encrypt your connection with a VPN. So I think the most important one for us to tell students is constant vigilance, meaning, just because, you're at Starbucks and Starbucks Wi-Fi is free doesn't mean you need to jump on it because people are still hacking through that. Also, not to jump on Wi-Fi that it says John's iPhone, free Wi-Fi, not to jump on stuff like that because, John could be trying to steal your Wi-Fi. So just being constantly aware of where you're at and the Wi-Fi you're getting on. I think it's important to tell students, hey, when you're at home and your family has Wi-Fi, that's okay Wi-Fi to use. When you're at airports, you get free Wi-Fi. That's also safe Wi-Fi to use. So conversations, who are you really talking to? So a couple key points we thought. One, be careful who you accept as friends online. It's not all about all the friends that you have. It's about knowing who's looking at your private information. If someone makes you uncomfortable, ignore them or report them. It's important to tell students that if someone is harassing them online or asking them, to meet up, like it's okay to just to stop talking to them, delete them as a friend, don't reply back to them, or report them to their parents, or some authoritative figure. Talk to someone you trust if someone is making you uncomfortable. Again, same thing. If someone online is making you feel weird, just report your parents or teachers or any adult figures. And remember, anyone can pretend to be someone else online. I think that's important to tell students that, they may think they're talking to someone their age online, but it really may not be that case at all. So how does a virus find me? So inappropriate websites. These could be inappropriate websites, when it has drugs, alcohol, any of that kind of stuff. But we're even talking about viruses, like how do kids get viruses on their computer, and what can we tell them to avoid that? So sharing music, files, or photos with other users could be a potential virus getter. Using an infected website or opening spam email or an email attachment. Downloading free games, toolbars, media players, and other system utilities. Kids, they see games they want to play, but that could be a huge no-no because they could get a virus on their computer. And installing mainstream software applications without fully reading license agreements. So, they want to download something, and when they do, they don't realize they're actually downloading a virus. So it's important to tell kids, when they want to accept something and download something, then they need to read all the terms and agreements for it. So passwords, creating a safe password. I think, I'm a victim of this. I have the same password for everything, but that's really not what we want to teach students. We want to teach them to have creative and different passwords that people can't figure out. So don't use the same passwords for all your accounts. Huge no, no, don't do that. People are gonna figure out your passwords. Use different symbols and capital letters throughout your password. A password around 12 characters long is recommended. Don't share your password with anyone, not your best friends, anyone. So make sure to tell your students when they have their password, they need to keep that to themselves. And then keep a record in a safe journal of the password you use for different sites. I do that because I have to sign up for so many things for school that I have a piece of paper that I have the website and my username and password, and they're all starting to become different. But it's just important to have the kids keep track of that because if they're having different passwords, they're not going to be able to remember all of it. So how does this impact students' use of social media? So there are account settings that kids can manipulate. They can do privacy settings. For example, like on Instagram, you can be private and no random person can just go to your profile and look at, oh, these are the pictures. They have to request to follow you, and that student would have to accept it. So that's one way students can manage how to keep who is following them. Biographical information. I think Facebook, especially this happens there, is telling who your mom and dad is, where are you at, that kind of information. That could really be kept to a minimum, and we need to tell our students that because we don't need to be telling people where are we at at all times, who our family is, and the people who are trying to find us can find us through those different outlets. Again, account information. You don't need to be posting that on any social media. Again, don't tell people where you are. That's how stalkers and that kind of crazy stuff gets created. So friends and contacts, we talked about this earlier. Don't just accept people just to have more friends. You need to make sure that you actually know the person. And then the site features, like I was saying with Instagram being able to have privacy settings, you can have the same type of stuff on Twitter. Twitter, you can block people from retweeting your stuff. Snapchat, on there you can block people from looking at your story or certain people just becoming your friends. So I think it's really important to almost not scare the students, but tell the students that there are people out there who are trying to get to kids, and these are the ways to protect themselves, especially on social media. It's something that they all really love so much. They need to know how to protect themselves. The internet can be a great tool as long as you use it safely. So us as educators need to use, these elements and how we can implement that with our students, protect themselves online. So thank you.